Hi guys, welcome back. So let me see. Set it right here. Alright. Looks like we are streaming and beaming. And hopefully you guys can see me clearly because I don't know about the reception over here where I am. I am in New York City and I'm so excited, you guys. I'm so happy. I'm feeling grateful. It feels like a dream come true that I am here at this time. I knew I was going to come in January for my internship, but I did not know that I would be here for the holidays, you guys. Not my internship, but my internship interview. I'm going to say my internship because it's looking pretty good. We're going to see. We'll do that next month, you guys. But, yes, like, it caught me by surprise. My bae, who is just so sweet, by the way. I've been sharing some pictures on my Facebook page. I know y'all been seeing. Y'all been, like, saying, oh, you're so sweet. Hashtag Black Love. But he is such a sweet person. I give it up to him. Shout out to my bae. He is actually from the Ivory Coast, West Africa. He's been in New York City for almost 10 years now. And when he told me that he wanted me to come, he wanted to spend, Christmas and New Year's together, like, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh, are you freaking serious? He was like, yes. Hold on. What the hell? What did I do here? What did I do? He was like, yeah, he wanted to spend the holidays together. And he was like, I'll just come out there to LA. I was like, I would rather come to New York. Fuck that. Fuck coming to LA. I mean, LA cool and I live out there in LA, but I just feel like New York is much better, especially for the holidays. So, like, on a whim, y'all, like I said, I did not expect this. He booked your girl flight, like, and it was last minute. Y'all know how it is when you book last minute flights. The prices shoot through the roof. So typically when I book my round trip from LA to New York, it's about $400, between $400 and $500. This man, y'all, then paid for a last minute round trip flight, and of course I only do non-stop from LA to New York, round trip, y'all, at the last minute. And when I saw the receipt, because he sent it obviously to my email, I had my name on the ticket information, right? He sent it to my email, and I'm looking at the dang on price. I was like, yo, you done paid $1,000. That's how bad he wanted to see me. So, y'all, that's where it started, y'all. That's just where it started. That ain't even the tip. And it is hot, and I wish I would have asked him how the hell he turned this freaking heater off in here. It's like he got two heaters. He got like a, what do you call it, a space heater, and then he has like a central heat. And I don't know how to, I turned the space heater off. I have no idea how to turn off the freaking central heat. So, I'm like overwhelmed with gratitude, y'all. That's just the beginning. And then my flight landed here yesterday. It landed like almost an hour early. The pilot, he was gunning in the air. Like, he was gone, y'all. And it's crazy because my buddy, my partner, he didn't expect my flight to land as early as it did. And so he had like this whole thing planned for me. It was like the pilot messed up my plans, but even still, y'all, this guy is just too sweet, y'all. He is too sweet. So I gotta get some water for these. So he got me these roses. He came like to the airport with these roses. You are worth that and so much more. Enjoy it all. I know. Thank you, Leslie. I was like, you are just too sweet. I did not expect this. Like, you didn't have to do it. But he was like, no, I want to make you feel special. Like, I really appreciate you for coming out here and spending the holidays with me. I was just like, oh. And when I first looked at this, y'all know I thought this was a condom. I was like, what? I had to read it. But it says it is flower care. I was just like, oh, this is too sweet. It's just so sweet. And then he had booked, y'all. This man had booked reservations, y'all, for this really expensive dinner at a hotel. And first I was like, wait, we going to a hotel? Because that ain't part of the plan. But no. What's up? Oh, how do you pronounce your name? Pana? Is the K silent? Where are you tuning in from? So, yeah, he had booked reservations at this really nice hotel, which he didn't want to tell me the name of the hotel. It was like, it's a surprise, right? So, he picked me up from the airport, and, you know, we driving through town, and turns out the hotel was in Times Square. I'd never been to this hotel before, y'all, but when I say I was just wowed, and I've been to a lot of nice hotels, by the way, but this particular hotel was like, wow. It was the Marriott Marquise, the name of the hotel, but the restaurant was up on the 48th floor, y'all. And when I say, oh my gosh, I was so impressed. I was like, this is nice. It's called The View, right? So the elevator ride up was just immaculate too, because it just shot us right up like a freaking spaceship. I'm just like, dang, this junk is like first class, right? So we get up there, and the hostess, he checked in with the hostess, let him know that, you know, he had booked a reservation, and how that restaurant is set up. Like, when you book a reservation, like, you pay for it in advance. What's up, Jocelyn? Happy holidays. So he paid for it in advance. He gave him his name. And being that, you know, he's African, but, you know, he's also French too, right? He speaks French, and his name is French. And so he had to spell his name out. And then, you know, they confirmed it. And they were like, okay, we got like 45 minutes before your reservation, because we got there early. But granted, now your girl was hungry because I hadn't really eaten. I didn't eat breakfast like when I left LA. And on the plane, you know, they give you like the little small snacks or whatever. So on the plane, I had like some egg and some cheese and fruit. That was good. It was enough to hold me until I got to New York. But I'm just like, yo, your girl is hungry. So he was like, oh, so we can go get something like light, you know, before we have our dinner reservation. I was just like, all right, cool. So we ended up just going straight there to the restaurant at The View, and they have this buffet, and I was just like, oh my god. So the buffet is on a different floor from the actual place where the reservations are, right? It's a different style seating, different style like serving of food. Like the buffet basically is self-serve, and where we had the reservation, you know, they bring out the food like traditional waitress style. So, you say, what? You say, please lock it. Yes, it's on lock. So, the buffet, y'all, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet, y'all. The service was nice. You know, I ordered some Pinot Grigio, my favorite wine. Y'all know. Y'all, I am just like, oh. Hold on. Plus, I just got the shower, too. Now, when I take a shower like, the temperature be set on hell when I take a shower. I just like to steam like a sauna. So, yeah, we were just eating at the buffet, waiting, you know, for the time for our reservations. Like, and they told us 45 minutes, but before you know it, y'all, the buzzer thing was going off, and I was just like, dang, it's already time. You say, what? You praying for me? Thank you. I appreciate the prayers. Pray that I learn how to fix this freaking heater because it's hot. So, I had, so the buzzer was going off, right? And we had just sat down. I just had went and got my food from the buffet. And y'all, I wish I would have took a picture of the buffet. They have, like, obviously the food part, right? Like meat, and they have like chicken, they have salmon, and then they have this dessert buffet, y'all. That's where the chocolate covered strawberries was. They had like a chocolate fountain. I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, this is just too beautiful. Like, I'm like, yo, you just going over the top for your girl. You did not have to do this, but I really appreciate it, right? So we get that, and by the time like we sat down, you know, ate some of that, boom, they called for our reservation, you know, for our dinner reservation. So I was just like, oh my gosh, we just ordered this. And granted, the buffet is not cheap. I think the buffet was like $48 per person, right? So he was like, oh, don't worry about the price. Like, you're good. Just go ahead and eat, you know. Like, I want to make sure that you're comfortable. That was his, like, number one part. I want to make sure that you're comfortable. I was like, okay, so ate the buffet, but I still had saved me some room in my stomach for, the main course, right? So we go to the other floor for the actual dinner reservation. And I was just like, wait a minute. The floor is moving? And it was like, yeah, it's a rotating restaurant. I was like, what? So that's the concept. That's the reason why they call it The View, because basically you get like a 360 view of New York City in Times Square area, y'all. And granted, it's a real view because we on the 48th floor. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. It felt weird, y'all. It was like, it felt disorienting because I'm not used to sitting down eating food and the floor is moving, you know? Like, unless you're on a boat or something, right? But for me, I don't really like boats like that. Like, I get seasick. I have motion sickness. So I was just like, okay, this is different. I like the concept and the idea, but I'm just like, I don't know. I feel weird. I almost like kind of felt dizzy a little bit because it wasn't rotating really quickly. Like, I think it took a whole hour for the evolution to complete itself, right? So for you to get the entire 360 view all the way around the city, it was like a full hour. But I was just like, oh my gosh, I have to get used to this. And I'm sipping on some Pinot Grigio too. I'm just like, oh my gosh. But it was nice though. I had posted pictures on my Facebook page. You guys can go check that out. So that was that, and then we of course hung out, you know, in Times Square, did the typical kind of sightseeing thing. It's not like I'm a tourist though. Like, I've lived in New York before I had moved to LA in 2016, so I know New York, you know, but sometimes I like to act like I'm a tourist, like wowed, wowed by the sights that I see. So that was that, but I felt like that was a really special gift, but that wasn't it. So even before we actually get to the hotel, y'all, he took me by his office because, you know, he has a really important kind of job, career, whatever you want to call it, where he obviously has close ties to Africa, but mostly like for business purposes, right? So his office is in the financial district of New York City. That's Lower Manhattan, you know, where Wall Street at. Like, he deals in international trade, mostly with African countries. And as you guys can see, I'm wearing this lovely, lovely dress here that he gave to me. And I did not expect it. He took me by his office, and in his office he has like a whole bunch of African gear, regalia, and stuff like that. He deals not only with fashion, like African fashion, international trade, but all kinds of merchandise. Like, this dude is a mogul, and I have much respect for him. And so, like, he was like, oh, pick out anything you want. And I was like, seriously? Dude spoiled me. I was like, seriously, yo? He was like, oh, you're good. Go ahead and have it. And this is before we even went to our dinner reservation, y'all. So I was just like, oh my gosh. I'm feeling this dress, y'all. I decided to put it on today because I wanted to show my appreciation towards him. Oh, and I didn't even know it has this little pocket here on the side. Okay, I'm going to stand up and show y'all. Look, this is too cute. So all of this, I'm going to show you guys more because this isn't the only one I got. I got 4 pieces, right? All of this come from the Ivory Coast. I wouldn't say it in French, but I don't want to fuck up the country's name. I'll let him say it for y'all if he wants to be on camera. He's not home now, actually. He's out there getting that bread and butter, but I really like it. And the material is really, like, you know, thick and rich. I'm feeling it, y'all. So this is the dress, and it's funny because like when it's not on my body, and as I was like holding it up, looking at it, I'm like, it's not gonna fit. He was like, it'll fit. I'm like, oh, you know a woman's body, huh? Because how you know that dress fits on my body? I just looked at it. I felt it wouldn't fit, but I'm surprised it feels like I told you. I told you it would fit. And so this, I thought this was a dress, but this actually is a shirt, y'all. And like it's kind of like the one I have on, so it looks like it's wide, like it's made for like a big size woman. And I'm not a big size woman. And so I felt like when he was like, "Oh, it'll fit," it was like, you know, he was like, "It's a bigger size," and I'm just like, "But I'm not a big person." But I really like this though. I would try it on for you guys, but I don't feel like doing all that. Maybe I'm sure you guys, if you guys follow me, you guys will see me in these pieces in the videos to come. So I really like this, like the way it fits. And you see it has these strings on the side where you tie it in the back. So when you tie it in the back, you know, it makes it seem like it's like a tight fitted shirt. It's pretty cool. So that's that one. And then this one is just like it. It's just a different color. I like the little beads there. So I was asking him, like, how much does this go for? He said wholesale is like $80 per piece. But if you buy it like retail price, you know, it's, I think he said like $100. It's like, oh, okay, it's not bad. I wish you guys can feel this material. It's pretty heavy. And I really like this. This is another dress. I was going to wear this one today. This one, actually the blue one comes longer than the one I have on. And then the sleeves have a little scrunch sleeve. I'm just like, thank you. Now I gotta do something for him. I feel like, this is the thing. When people give gifts, y'all, every time that thing squirts out the fragrance, I'm just like, whoa. Because you know how, like, you're used to the sounds in your own place where you live. But when you go somewhere else, you're not used to the different sounds and the cracks and the crickets and, you know, these weird noises. So it's just like every little noise, you're just like, what's that? But no, this is, I'm good. I'm just really hyper vigilant. So yeah, I'm loving this. I'm really loving this, y'all. And this is just, okay, so I flew in yesterday. That was day one. Today's day two. I'm going to be here for like 2 entire weeks, y'all. I'm going to be here through New Year's. Longer than actually I stayed last year when I came. And this man, he's just heaven sent. And it's funny, like, our conversation, you know, we were talking yesterday at dinner. He was just being so poetic. I said, wow, your words sound like poetry. He started to laugh. I was like, seriously? I don't know if you're just gassing my head up or what, but I like what you're saying. I like that he is very assertive. I like that he's a businessman. You know, he's a business owner and he is doing great things. You know, he shared his business plans, you know, actually past and present, things that he's done and things that he's working on. And I was just like, I can see how what we're both doing, like both of our missions can intersect. They will intersect and we can end up, you know, becoming like business partners aside from romantic partners and actually doing business together. Like I see that happening. I share with him, you know, what I have going on, not really too much into detail, but you know, generally speaking, like what my vision is going forward. And he was just like, oh, so we're gonna like merge our worlds together and you guys will get to see that. Like it's, hey, I'd rather just do and not talk too much. So I'm just gonna show you guys. But he also gave me this necklace. I was just like, oh, you're so sweet. Like this is the best Christmas gift ever, just to be able to leave LA, y'all. And it's funny because the way I talk about LA, people probably think like LA is the worst place, but for me, no place compares to New York. Like once you live in New York City and you leave, well, of course, either you love New York or you hate it, but me, I loved it. So for people who love New York and they leave it, no other place compares. So you feel like something is missing. You go somewhere else, you're just like, it's not the same. The food isn't the same. The people aren't the same. The vibe just is not the same. So I think I've just been anticipating my return back to New York pretty much ever since I moved to LA. But I'm happy that I'm near the end of my program, y'all. I'm down to one more semester left in my PhD program, and I feel kind of relieved, but I don't want to exhale too soon. I gotta, finish this last semester, and it's the last leg, so it's just like a marathon. You run a marathon, and you're just like, okay, you're at the end, and people think the end is like the easier part, but no, the end is like sometimes the hardest part. Because it's like at this point you're kind of exhausted, but you still have this last piece you have to do. And my last piece is my dissertation, writing my dissertation, finishing my data collection, analyzing it, doing the write-up, publishing it, and on top of that, finishing my hours. I work at a correction facility for the California Department of Corrections, so I have to complete my contract with them, and then I get to move on to the next one, and hopefully my next internship, as I was telling you guys at the beginning of my video, that I'll be interviewing for. My interview actually is in New York City in January. I'll be coming back, so I'm here to celebrate the holidays. I'm gonna fly back to LA, work a couple days, and then that same week I'm flying right back out here for my interview, and I'll be out here for an entire week. So you go just back and forth. I feel like that's gonna help this semester fly by too. Before you know it, I am gonna be done, you guys. Like, we're gonna be done. I'll be back in New York. I'll be so excited, so happy, you guys, and I'm just happy about this next phase in my life. Romantic phase. And I'll catch you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.